Lakonya Chamoy, who is the son of Lakonya, his father-in-law. Okay, Rabbi Eliezer went to Rabbi Yossi,
Rabbi,
his father-in-law. Okay, or who was his father-in-law?
okay.
So Rabbi Elazar's father-in-law was named Shimon, son of Rabbi Yossi. So that Isa. So he built him like a canopy. It says here, matzaot. He spread in the perush. Kevan sharaoto hitkin lo matzaot naot. He spread nice linens, right? Lesheves aleim, that they can sit on in it. The kumra, the gam hitkin michse. He also fixed the canopy, right? B'maton the kulfa, with sticks, right? So he built like a kind of like a chuppah, okay, from the sun, in order that they can sit under it. Nice little canopy. Like what was he doing before then? I don't know. Oh, now that you're here, let's build a canopy, right? Just wait a second while I get these sticks up. Whatever, he built it, okay, from the sun. V'yisivu, and they sat. So they sat there to go ahead and learn Torah. Amar lechamoy, so his father-in-law said to him, Efshar d'shamat me'avuch, is it possible that you heard from your father? Hide exceed this verse that it writes, Asa Hashem, Asher Zamam. Hashem has done what he intended. Zamam, which means intended. Okay. Bitza, it's a strange word, bitza. How do they translate it here? Utterance. He executed his utterance. Bitza, imratzo. Emratzo means his utterance. He executed his utterance, Asher Tziva, which he commanded, Mimei Kedem. So, how do you read that straight? Hashem did what he intended. He executed his utterance. It's kind of like a double language. We're going to find out what that means because it seems like it's double if you look at the verse. One is Hashem did what he had devised. The other is he executed his utterance. What was his utterance?
That means that's another way of saying he executed his own desire.
Yeah, but I mean, why does it have to say it in a double language? You always have to look in the verse. Why does it have to say it?
Executed.
Execute is one thing.
Right. It means
he did what he devised. He executed his word. He did. First, you execute a word. Execute a word is you say something and you do it.
First is the intent. Yeah.
But no, it sounds like the first thing is he did what he intended.
But the minute he creates an utterance, no, he can just have the intention to create it, and it's done.
Okay.
But the utterance is so that we can understand it, or that some sort of impulse of electricity or whatever, in order to make it happen.
So we can understand, a word is spoken and then something's done.
Wait a minute, but executing his utterance.
That's exactly the point that I'm saying. That's for us to understand. But he can create without having to.
So what is the first part of the verse going?
But we don't know that.
There's a first part of the verse, there's a second part. This is what we're going to discover, okay? I hear what you're saying. It just seems to me, I would switch it. I would do the statement, he executes his statement, he does what he intended to do.
That's what he said.
What seems like it would be more in order. It seems like it's backwards, okay? It seems like he did what he intended. Oh, but intended, I think, is going as good, what you're saying. Doctor, intention, it has to do with in the mind.
This is all connected to spirit.
But it's a done. He did what he intended.
You know, it's
okay.
It's the spirit.
Let's see what it says here. Okay. So really, the classic answer here in the Perush, he just brings you a simple explanation. Hashem did what he thought, right? The Kalav Hishlim es Gezerasa, and he finished and he completed his decree. He did what he thought and he completed his decree as it was commanded in the Torah. I was reading in the Perush here. Safti liasra etchem, and I have finished to punish you 7 times. Okay, we're going to see what. The friends have already explained this, and he brings where they've explained it. It's in the Midrash Rabbah and Vayikra, but that's not what they're going to explain it now. And look how he's going to now explain it. Bitza imratso, he executed his statement. Poor his royal executing his
the garments. I mean,
always
mystically.
the interesting
Expressions. One is
here it brings down the kavanah in your mind for Yuv Kevav. Words was, is, and will be. So you have to contemplate. You have to understand you're in the presence of the eternal, because he. Aleph Daled, which means Adon HaKol. He's the master of everything. Okay? It is a garment for the name of Yud Kei Vav Kei. And separated this unity through the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash. So here we're entering into the realm of Hashem ripping his garment at the destruction of the temple. Okay? So when we say in this verse in Eika that Hashem executed his utterance, which means he ripped his garment, which means he separated. There was a separation.
Rent? What does that mean?
Rip. When a person rips Kriya, when they are in mourning is a sign of mourning that a person over
I know.
Lo Aleinu Hashem, so he has to rip a garment.
Yeah.
So then the rest of the verse said, so he executed his Pur pira pakele. Why? Because this lavush, this garment, which the Ein Sof, the unlimited one, has commanded, lahalbish etzah. There's this garment. We all live in the world. Ein Sof. So it says here in the Perush, "V'tikun v'gadlus hamalchus hu mimei kedem shehem avak da'arech anpin," which is, this garment was fixed from the very beginning. In other words, a connection that we call zun. Why specifically in this connection of the Churban Bait, of the destruction of the temple, that were made in the world? It seems like in the world there were other times where there were other judgments that were being like still there, but somehow with the Beit HaMikdash, Hashem is ripping his garment, his purple garment. I think that's how they translate it. Purple is like royal.
Royalty.
Purple also is, let's say, if you look at would be the color purple. It's like your first order, I guess, from infinity.
Yeah, blue or green, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so why destroyed? So he tore this garment. Begin to high purpira ihi yikaradile, because this garment, this lavush, was so dear to him, right? Shaya chofef b'beit hamikdash, because it was really the Rav beheichalo kulo amir.
Sense,
That's
royalty,
pretty
right.
high. Okay.
Royal purple
Alright,
symbolizes.
It
yeah.
speaks
Mama.
in Parshat Bo. Here, we got a copy for you.
Oh.
You might have to juggle it, though, because it's pretty, goes upside down a lot. Stay on, okay?
Okay.
Begin to, okay, the page right there. I think you're on that page. What's the tikkun of the all of the form of the temple and all of its always understand the temple. In the times that the people would go 3 times a year. It was, the Shekhinah was there. People, it had an unbelievable connection to the to higher realms. Ubazale, what happened? Now God, He created this thing. This is unbelievable building, this unbelievable structure, unbelievable vortex. Everybody would have a connection to. If you ever had a question, you'd go there. You'd either meet a prophet who would tell you what to do, or you'd have your own epiphany, right? Would give you direction or connection, and all of a sudden, it's gone. Let's say Lamar Kedei. Destroy the building, he first had to separate from it. And that's what it means by separating, like male and female, so to speak. The divine presence left first. As a matter of fact, the Gemara brings down, there are 10 leavings of the Shekhinah. It brings down really succinct times where people could, I guess they sensed the Shekhinah. First it's there, then at first it left the Holy of Holies, it went to the Heichel, then it went from the Heichel to the Azara, from the Azara it went to outside Yerushalayim, from Yerushalayim to the wall to the desert. It's like, I don't know who can see it, but they can see it out there until finally 10 steps, so then it was gone. Then once it's gone, of course, the life force is gone, so then just the rest of it has to take place, which is played out that we're going to see now. Okay? So the idea really is the temple was an unbelievable thing, and we get the idea, picture of God had to destroy his garment. So that's what it means by he executed his utterance that he ordained in days of old. In days of old was this original connection. He tore his garment, which means he separated from. Are we there? Are you guys on the next page?
Which page?
Okay, you go to 353.
Yeah, we've been there. We've been on top.
Yeah?
And then when?
Good. So Amar le Asa Hashem Asher Zama. You know, the decree is gone. For they sinned. They didn't sin yet. Free will. The It doesn't like that kind of, well, God really knew it, so he planned on it, but free will is one of those things you can never. How does God know what you're going to do 2 seconds from now, right? But yet somehow he does know, but yet free will is given. If free will is given, I should be able to decide what complete freedom in what I want to decide.
He's sharpening our spiritual metal, basically.
So you're going into exile, and the idea of exile, which is bigger. It's a big
He's doing
thing.
it on purpose for our growth.
Yeah, but we all know that when we sit on the floor on Tisha B'Av, that we sit on the floor for a reason. When we say baseless hatred, sinat chinam, we say lashon hara, right? We say these reasons that the temple was destroyed and we got kicked out. Yet, on the other hand, we have exile, which is decreed from Avram Avinu at the Brit Bein HaMasarim, at the whole covenant between the halves, that God told him, I'm going to throw you, your kids have to go to exile. It's a weird thing. And Avram Avinu, he didn't even pray for him.
But that works the same way as baseless hatred, all these things that could have changed, and they didn't, and Kodesh Baruch didn't have to destroy the temple, Beit HaMikdash, but it's the same. The apple, again, free will.
Free will is one. This you'll see. Look at how this text is working. The language of the text is saying, how can it be that the king has already contemplated to do bad to his kids and they didn't even sin yet?
He's going to make life very tough for us and disconnect from us, so we reach out to get him.
Bigger picture, yes. Okay.
We've had it easy, best.
Let's look at his parable here, and I'm going to ask you how you could solve this. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's puzzling to me. So Amar le Malka dahava le man yakar. So he says here, he said to him, okay. This is compared to a king who had a very dear vessel. Expensive, yakar. Very dear. He every day, or all day, is that every day or all day? How do they translate it?
Every day.
Every day he was afraid upon it that it would not break. He would look at it. He would fix his eyes. Liyomin, a certain day happened. Asabore, his son came. Va'argiz le'la malka. He made him angry. He made the king angry. What did the king do? Natal malka hahuman. He took that vessel.
Smashed.
Utvarle, and he broke it. Harahu ksiv, as it writes, Asa Hashem asher zamam. Hashem made what he had intended. Meaning he did what he had intended.
Intended or kind of foresaw, apprehend.
Huh? Mm-hmm. So they translated as apprehended.
Is it Kamo Moshe
translate?
Har Sinai? He's smashing the tablets.
Explain to me how this parable explains the question. The question was, how can you have an intention to destroy something when they didn't sin yet? And yet he gives you this idea of this really nice, whatever, vase.
That's the same way as they say, prodigal son. It's like, you're always worried that, even bring it down even simpler. You have a really expensive car, okay? Let's say,
Let's go modern. Lamborghinis are out of style.
All right, a Tesla.
Yeah.
And every day you polish it, you make sure that there's no scratches, there's no smudges on there, but you're always keeping your eye. That's you.
I'm not using.
Somebody somewhere is gonna.
And then your son comes, he makes you angry for whatever reason. You go in your house, you get a baseball bat, and you start smashing it up.
But Rabbi,
You know, Keith Moon of The Who did that.
I have a
He
question.
orders a handmade Rolls Royce, they pull it up, and he took a baseball bat and smashed it.
Mhm.
Drove the guy who made it crazy.
Well, because that.
That's good, whatever.
You know, I'm going to take a totally different approach here. Those things are a reflection of Avodah Zarah.
Uh-huh.
When you,
Uh-huh.
it's like the same as a very rich person that essentially lives with the minimum amount, and all he worries is how to preserve this wealth, and nobody else profits from it. And he doesn't profit from it either. He consumes the least amount possible because all he wants is to continue to make his wealth bigger and bigger. That's Avodah Zarah. He's making money look like God. Okay, so I think one other place where it's important, and we know from for example, when Ishmael says, why didn't God punish him at that moment if he knew that he was going to sin? Because at that moment he had not sinned yet. Why would he punish someone for
Telling
things that are going to happen in the future?
I got issues with it today, right? Basher Husham, you're right. He looked at the framework right here and now, and he's on the level.
Right.
So, but here, obviously, what's the parable here? Hashem took an expensive vessel, which is really, say, in the world of Hashkacha, the spiritual realm, there's this kind of the whole day while there's shpilkas. It's like, oh my gosh, what's going to be, man? Are they going to sin and I'm going to have to destroy it? Or no? V'chein b'kol yom dehava aseh legabe word for me to say it. And he Asar degarmu chovin. So after that they caused their sins, v'argizu makdashah. So the temple became destroyed. Okay. That Hashem did what he intended to do. First is, it has to do with the temple. Strange. Okay?
Important. It's a spirit. Caught up in the beautiful temple.
But I'm just trying how can the king do bad? Perpetrated this thing, and they didn't sin yet.
The evil is destroying the temple, correct? Taking them away from them and removing the connection.
Yes.
From the Shekhinah. Okay.
Exile.
So what that is?
Yes, it is,
wants-
obviously.
He wants us. He's reached down to us and given us everything. Now it's our turn. To do all the work.
Okay.
He wants that connection. He wants us. It's a test. He's been leading us, giving us everything we needed, right? Making it easy. Now it's work, right?
Yes.
Go find the
But we see from this text, obviously, that I think the gist of the text is
I think, I'm not sure.
All the time the temple was destroyed, Hashem is in Shpilkas.
At the time it was destroyed.
Until it was destroyed, God would come and He's there, but there's some kind of worry.
When He was there?
Yeah, in case they're going to sin, then I got to destroy it.
You either have free will or you don't.
It's just faith. It's in
You
His
can't
will.
judge them.
They definitely
now,
have
but
free
you
will.
Have free will.
Yeah.
God
So
understands.
maybe you're gonna do it. Maybe.
It wasn't a planning. It was a fear, a worry. A worry that it could change.
Exactly.
It could change because of free will. But did what He intended was Zaman, what He intended to do, which was the way that their understanding intended, which was Hashem did what He was afraid of.
He wasn't sure he'd understand.
What she knew would happen.
In a different sense, in a certain sense, yes. Exciting, but this is what I wanted to tell. This is what I titled the class time ago. See? No. This applies to the time of the temple. Continuation of that same verse. There was, in the time that the temple sinned and he destroyed the temple. And another time, leis chedva, there's no joy before God, like the angry, who anger before Him. Okay. English, this applies to the because the rest of the verse, Vayikra Hashem to cry over Yerushalayim. That's the time the temple was destroyed. Okay? But in other times, when there is din in the world, you have to get that Perush says that. In other words, it's very bad. Hashem ripped his garment. But there's other times of judgment where Hashem is very happy. That He's very happy when the wicked people of the world and the one who anger Him each and every generation. There's a God, okay? At the downfall of the wicked. Okay? Now things
Be happy because
No.
Okay.
It's not translated as being happy. It says
Yeah.
that we have learned that joy vanishes from the presence of the Blessed Holy One when He punishes the wicked.
It says here, nothing delights the Blessed One as much as the elimination of the wicked of the world and those who have provoked Him.
Yeah, but because he's got to be neutral. He's Hashem. He
No,
doesn't really
but-
have
But in page 353,
one
doesn't say
side or
that.
the other
He's not
side.
Look at this. It's on month delights the Blessed Holy One as much as the elimination of the wicked of the world.
Maybe
Delights means simcha, chedva, joy.
it doesn't necessarily mean the destruction of the person.
No,
But the evil
no,
in him.
no. Okay,
The evil.
yeah, you're going to get into drasha.
Oh, it's like, you know.
Okay, let's look at the text
Yeah.
and we'll see if it means just the wicked part of him.
Right.
Yes, okay. Okay, because it says here, Hadahud Ksiv, as it says in the verse, okay? There's a verse which says, Uba'adun Rishaim Rina, and then the destruction of the wicked Rina. Rina, which means glad. The Kain Bakol Daravadara, each and every generation, I'm just going back, the Avid Dina, when he makes a judgment, the B'chayave Alma, on the wicked of the world, Chedva V'tushbecha Kamei Kucha Brichu. There's this joy. V'hi Tema, now we're going to ask a question. Hatanenan, we have taught, the Leis Chedva Kamei Kucha Brichu Kad Ihu Avid Dina B'chayavaya. We have an explicit teaching that God is not happy. There's no happiness before God when He is destroying, when He's making judgment against the wicked. So it's two conflicting concepts. Either there's joy when the wicked are destroyed, or there's no joy when the wicked are destroyed. Now I'm sure that your mind is thinking of situations,
No.
not in this world's generation. I'm talking about in the
But it
Chumash.
also says in Mipirel, he says that when your enemies are fallen, you shouldn't have joy over their suffering.
We bring that up very soon.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not supposed to.
Mm.
But yet we know that.
Yeah,
But the verse in Mishlei says Uba'avun Roshayim Rina, the destruction of the wicked is joy.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait a minute.
Mm.
Yet on the other side of the coin, no, there's no happiness when there's destruction of the wicked.
But again,
It's a direct contradiction. Okay.
Rabbi, you're assuming it's a person is evil. That you're talking about a person. You're talking about qualities in a person. I maybe a stretch.
No, but listen, there are times where the wicked people get destroyed.
Yeah, Amalek.
Amalek, okay. The thing that's coming into my mind immediately is what happened at the sea, since we're getting into that Parsha a couple weeks from now. What? They got destroyed, they got washed out, right? So was God happy or not happy?
Neither.
The angels wanted to sing. He said, no singing here.
No.
And yet there's other places. It shouldn't say that at all. Text, you see the conflict.
But it's not a conflict. If you're looking at good and evil in a human being, it's not a conflict. But the evil gets expunged from the person, and his goodness
Okay, but
dominates.
the Egyptians didn't get expunged of their
No,
evilness.
they didn't.
Like the sea had to spit them up. So the Egyptians, no, I got food. I need this food. My fish need food. The fish need food. This is good food. And so Hashem says, "Look, I'll pay you back." You know that? There's a midrash that says, I'll pay you back. I'll get it back to you. I'll cover for it, right? So that when? The sea goes when? So, no, there's going to be a later war. I'll see to it. And there was Sisera's army. A big, huge flood came and washed 9,000 of Sisera's army all the way down to the Red Sea. The balance was struck. Okay, so anyways, so here we have a phrase. It's just a simple contradiction. Is he happy or not happy? So of course we're going to answer. Okay. Eila tachazi, come and see. B'shata dis avid dina b'chayavaya, in the time that he's making judgment to the wicked. Chedvan v'tushbechan kamei, al dis avidu mi'alma. Yes, he's very happy and joyous because they are destroyed from the world. V'hani mile, this is when what? Kadmatahu zimna, when their time is reached. The orichlon, that he gave them, he extended these wicked people time. V'lo tavan, and they didn't return, they didn't do tshuva, l'gabea, to him, mechovayu, from their sins. God extends time to wicked people. Hopefully they'll turn back. So if he extended the time and their time has ran out, I don't know what that is based on. It does need a little bit of research. I was trying to look in the Leshem a little bit. They have a different phrase when the seah is full, when the basket gets full. Okay? If the basket's full, in other words, he extended the time, the deadline. I guess there was some kind of deadline, and they didn't do tshuva. They zapped. Awesome. That's happiness. That's great joy.
I look at it
When
as
the
a
basket
wait
is full
thing. Yeah.
means when the judgment is incomplete, or when they haven't done.
He's for whatever heshbon, and I don't know the heshbon. Okay, I don't know the account, but he allots a certain time frame. They got until March 31st. I don't know if there's 31 days in March.
Example here. For the guilt of the Amorites is not yet complete.
Brings that right now. I think right now, right. So, but if he would make an effect din, judgment, before their time, the lo ishtalim chovaihu, that their sins did not get complete. Just like what it says, ki lo shilem avon ha'emori adhena, which is a strange thing. The Amorites, Avram Avinu, he made a pact with Amorite. There's a lot of reasons why the Bnei Israel had to be delayed in the desert from getting into Eretz Yisrael. You say 40 years because they messed up, but then again there was this whole thing about Avram Avinu when he made a pact with the Amorites, with Abimelech. Abimelech came and his general came. They sat down. They made a pact. There's huge criticism on Avram Avinu for doing that because it lasts a certain amount of generations. It extended their time until the Jewish people could come in. That was one of the accounts that was done. Okay?
But also is in the Parshat we're reading now. It's like it says that God couldn't just wipe out the Egyptians right then when Moses went the first time. Because it's also stating that they had to fill a quota, whatever that quota is. And if they didn't get to that quota, God couldn't.
It was incomplete. It was incomplete.
No, I don't know about that. It's I don't know. Well, it wasn't, because you're going to see right now. You're right. The time of the Egyptians still, the Red Sea was not complete. They still had time. Okay, but the idea of the 10 plagues, though, it's really strange if you look at the verses. It says, like about 9 times, in order that Mitzrayim should know that I am Hashem. In order that Mitzrayim should know? What do you mean, Egypt? The Jewish people have to know. Really, it's the Egypt in the person.
Right.
Okay?
That's what I was talking about.
So it's the element of Egypt in the person that has to know.
Yes.
Okay? The bodily aspect has to know that there's nobody like God.
And for us to carry it forever now through generations so that we can use that as the example of what we're facing up against.
Yeah, always. And the other reason was that each of the 10 plagues, when they were getting hit, the Jewish people were getting healed. It was a healing. The Shem Shmuel, all the holy books bring down that there were with each of the plague, they were corresponding to the 10 statements of creation that Hashem made the world in.
Yeah, I heard that. Like
So-
1 is 10.
So in the Shem Shmuel says they don't go through a whole list, but the Shem Shmuel says, okay, darkness was the revelation of the concept, the insight of, and God said, let there be light. There's an insight there. But really, bottom line is, it was an amazing idea, the concept of that, how Hashem distinguished between Am Yisrael, the Jewish people, and the Egyptians, because really, if in the plague of the blood, if they would be sucking from a dish and a straw, and the Egyptian would bring his straw into the same dish, it would be blood.
Water.
Which really, what it was in the healing of the Jewish people was telling them, I'm with you. No matter where you are, no matter what corner you're in, no matter what closet or what basement you hide in, I'm there. I'm always going to be with you specifically, you. Not you, general you. If a Jewish person in the plague of darkness would walk into the Egyptian neighborhood where there's complete darkness, there'd be a beam of light shining on him no matter where he'd walk. He'd have total light where he is. Bizarre. Meaning what? Hashem is telling this, I'm with 10 different ways. It's kind of that healing that we all need, okay, in terms of our own redemption. Okay, in any case, okay, so going back here. So we have the difference here. There's something called their time, okay? The time of the wicked, if it's been used up, their time is over. God effects judgment. He destroys them. That's the best, right? But if their time isn't, and he destroys them, that's not good.
But he did because that's what it says here. It's interfering with Israel.
So you read ahead. Good.
If it's not interfering with Israel.
So they ask a kasha right now. That's a question right now. Okay, so it's bad before him. What? Everybody knows that? We wish. Yeah, we got problem. Okay. The Barditchever Rebbe. I think the Barditchever Rebbe at Pesach, he says 4 kashas? 4 kashas? I got 400 kashas. Okay. V'itema, and if you would say, Ihu, Adlo Matu Zamanaihu, these guys who didn't reach their time yet, Amai Avid Bahudina. Wait a minute. If they're wicked people, their time is not reached yet. Amai Avid Bahudina, what's he doing judgment for? Why can there be such a time of judgment where you're going to destroy the wicked before their time and then we can't be happy? And the angels can't sing. Eile inun garmin bishele garmaihu. These people cause bad to themselves. Why? Daha kucha brihu lo avid behudina. God does not affect a judgment. Ad lo matazmanaihu, before the time of these wicked people. Eile begin dish tatfe bahadaihu disrael av ashalon. Except when they join together against Israel to make bad to them. In other words, when they're going to chase after Israel and they're going to go after Israel to make bad to the Jewish people, that's when Hashem is going to effect a judgment against wicked people before their time, before their basket is filled. Ubegin kach, and because of that, avid behudina, because they went against the Jewish people, God made judgment. Like I say, you can have 400 kashas at the Passover Haggadah these days, okay? Vavidlon mi alma, he destroys them from the world below Zimna, before their time. V'dahu da'av ish kameh, and this is bad before him. Okay, in other words, God does not like it. Why? Because they can still do tshuva. He gives us certain, I don't know what the factor is. I don't know what the length of time is. I don't know what evil the purpose has to perpetrate. He knows, but we have no clue.
We're not supposed to.
I guess not. Okay?
And that's going back to the 2 paragraphs that we couldn't figure out. In my mind, I think the first paragraph applies to Hashem. The second paragraph applies to us.
Which paragraphs
So
are
we
these?
have to go back. The one that we left kind of
The very beginning?
You
mean with the verse? Hashem executed his judgment.
No, in 353. 353.
Yeah.
When it says this applies to the time when the temple was destroyed by all the time
Right.
in the lives of us. So I think the first of this paragraph, it's as is reason when the wicked perish, jubilation. So in every generation that he punishes the wicked of the world, joyous songs resound in the presence of the blessed Holy One. So he knows when and how and why he's doing this. But when we say now, you might say, now we is like we're judging. You might say, but we have learned the joy vanishes from the presence of the blessed Holy One when he punishes the wicked. So we're trying to understand the concept that is supposed to be at a higher level that doesn't belong to us, because he's the only one that knows whether the basket is full, the time has been extended, or has not been extended, or is it time to punish or
So
not
you're
punish?
saying, bottom line, when the wicked people get it, we're not supposed to be happy.
When the wicked people get it, we are supposed to be happy because they were wicked, and it happens for a reason.
But maybe it's not their time.
If it's not their time,
Maybe it's before their
If
time.
it's not their time, it must have interfered with Israel.
Israel.
So
If
now the
it's their
question,
time, it's gonna happen.
in other
So
words,
either way-
okay. So you're saying a litmus test
Yes.
is if they went against Israel and got destroyed, it wasn't their time.
Maybe it wasn't their time. Yes.
Maybe.
So therefore, you can't be happy.
Therefore, you can be happy.
Cannot or can?
You can.
You can be happy,
You can be happy.
but it's not their
because-
time.
It's not their time, but it was going to interfere with Israel. So it's acting on our behalf.
Okay, they did sing at the sea.
They did.
The Jewish people sang. Okay,
Sure.
but the angels didn't.
Okay, because
Hashem had another account.
exactly.
That's weird. Hashem doesn't sing. The angels can't sing, but we can sing.
And the only other time it says that the only exception was in the destruction of the Bet HaMikdash. And since
Oh, we'll get to that, right?
Since there has not
Because
been-
the other question is in the back of everybody's mind is, okay, Hashem, and Hashem wasn't happy. So what are we saying? It wasn't their time? It was before their time? No one's going against the Jewish people here. It's not an enemy. Not such a, should be Hashem. Not happy.
he's not happy and he's not allowing.
Should be happy but not happy. Okay, let's finish, okay? Because you read ahead, so we got to catch up to you, okay?
Otherwise, I don't understand.
I got it. Okay, because in Vadahu Davish coming. Begin kach atba mitzray biyama, and because of this, the Egyptians drowned in the sea. Israel bime Yehoshaphat, and also in the days of Yehoshaphat, I'm not sure I remember the story clearly, but he went against. There was a big, huge gathering. The kings, people got together against the Amorites and the Moabites. And they were evil kings. And then Yehoshaphat joined in and says, "Okay, I'll join in with you guys." I think he died in that battle, but I believe that they definitely knocked out they definitely won the war.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he lived or didn't live. I don't remember. Okay.
And so with all of them,
They
they were eliminated prematurely on account of Israel.
Okay. So in other words, the Egyptians was premature. In the days of Yehoshaphat, it was premature.
On account of us. On account of Israel.
Okay.
Even though it was
V'chein
premature.
kuluhu, and that's with all of it. Before their time.
Right.
Aval kad ishtalim zimna, when their time is complete.
Expired.
To orich loan, that he extended time. He gave him a long time. V'lo tavu, they didn't do tshuva.
Yeah, exactly.
Kedein chedva v'tushpachta. Because they're destroyed from the world. It sounds like that the people are destroyed.
They were destroyed. I mean, I gave you the chance. You didn't do it. Your time is up. You're wicked. You're gone. We're happy.
I'm just
Except-
looking.
It says except.
I'm just trying to find a something.
But at the same time, it's still not clear whether or not when they destroy them, is it God or is it God letting us destroy them?
Okay.
Whatever it is, how he
Whatever it is,
works it
gets
out
destroyed.
is different.
The point
Whether it's in
here
a
is that the negative side is getting destroyed. That's what we're
Right.
really talking about,
Right, the evil.
right?
Yes.
The negative side
Yes.
is getting destroyed.
Yes.
The evil energy, the evil
They,
forces.
you know,
Right,
on
but
a
you
personal level is the bad inclination, the darkness,
Right.
the opposite,
Yeah, but
whatever
at
the
same
negative
time,
side.
you're,
So you
you're
can
still
rejoice
not
for that,
supposed to be.
Right, we rejoice because we're over,
But you're not
last-
supposed to be rejoicing over them dying. Because
No,
even though they died because
Okay.
they're evil,
Okay.
but you're not supposed
Now
to.
you're
not
bringing
person.
in like if it's a person or a material, it could be just
more
a
abstract.
negative intention. It's the negative is being destroyed essentially.
Mhm.
We should be happy that the negative is
being
destroyed.
purged.
We should exactly here
Right,
is
but here they're going to the sea, and the sea, like you said, you have to spit them out. So
You have to spit out the bad. A little more, I mean, you have
well, you
to,
have to because Mitzrayim really was
this is not dealing with shot
materialistic.
level. This is not necessarily shot level.
Right,
Understand.
but it
Okay,
also
so
doesn't lie.
it says the Egyptians were drowned in the sea, even though that their nismale sasam, their seah, which is like their bushel, was not filled,
Right.
because we were supposed to be there 400 years. But of course, because they went after the Jewish people, nis or mi'achar sheheriu. Thing here, something like what you hinted to, Jane. Since that they were going to perpetrate evil against the Jewish people, and Israel awakened to do tshuva. In other words, Israel had to also step up to the plate. They had to do something. So then instantly they were destroyed. The Egyptians were destroyed. Okay? And all the rest of the wicked people. Okay? Shenavdu lifnei zmanam, they died before their time. Ki b'shvil sheratzu lahara Yisrael, because once they wanted to hurt the Jewish people, so then bar bezimna is charayiv be makdasha, except from the time where he destroyed the temple. In other words, if the wicked people, they're that their time was up. The Argizo Kameh, they had anger before him. Lo havachedva Kameh.
There has been no joy of overflow.
Omeahu Zimna lo havachedva le'ele v'tata. Since that time, so that says Az Yamale Sechok Pinu. From Shimon Bar Yochai quotes in the Gemara and Brachot. It says Az Yamale. Then our mouths will be filled with laughter. Until then, there's people do not fill their
Temporary extreme.
but definitely the Kodesh Baruch Hu. His day is divided into quarters. Yeah.
Three. It's not four.
There's a third of the day?
Rambam is third.
Third.
I have to look in the Gemara because I thought it was.
1/3 of sleep.
No,
1/3
no,
of
no.
study.
That's us. I'm talking about what God
Oh
does.
God, no, okay. Sorry. We don't know.
No. He's learning. He's mezavek zavugim. He puts pairs together. He's matching. And then the fourth was he played. Figure. I don't know. Sure, it goes on. It says, "Wah! The temple was destroyed. No more playing around. No more laughter." Right, then let's to play with.
He's about that.
So no, now what does he do? In the course of the day, he learns with the Tinukot Shel Beit Rabban. The children that left this world early, he teaches them now. They used to have to go to other schools or other. What?
It's gonna be tough to get to that school.
No, nobody gets to that
No,
school.
nobody gets there.
Nobody yet. Chas v'shalom, you don't. It's I'm gonna, God willing, I'll get to go. Only because I gotta, I have a connection, okay? But other than that, there are stories like that. But in any case, B'ezrat Hashem, Halavai. The idea really is, since the day that the temple was destroyed, there's no laughter. Not above and not below, okay?
Now, we're still in Noah.
No, stop.
We still haven't come to the water, the animals.
Hey,
Yeah.
what are you saying? You want to skip?
No. But now we're getting a taste of why maybe it was